What's up? What's going on?
It's all good. It's all good.
I said, what's going on? You stupid motherfucker. I said, what's going on? I said, what's up? I said, what's going on?
What's up? I said, what's up?
All right. I said,
I think they think I'm a punk.
All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're gonna be in the 147-pound division where we got some drama on our hands between Errol Spence Jr.'s camp and Terence Crawford, where Terence Crawford tries to bully Derrick James, and it don't work. Tells me something about the fight. I'm sure there's gonna be Terence Crawford fans, loyals, that disagree with me. But look, man, this is the second time Terence Crawford has tried to intimidate somebody in Errol Spence Jr.'s camp. And by all viewpoints, from everything that I can see, it didn't work. And that could be a bad thing for Terence Crawford. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. In this video, we're in the 147-pound division, talking about the fight that you know is coming up. We did videos about this for the last several years. We ain't gonna stop it until the fight's over. And then after that, when the fight is over, we probably still gonna talk about it for a while, seeing as there's a rematch clause in this fight. However, this particular incident that has been shown yesterday and today of an interaction between Terence Crawford and Derrick James, I think could potentially be telling. As much as you can see in a face-off, in a weigh-in, when you're looking at the weigh-in and the face-off to see, who's gonna blink first, who's gonna turn their head first, right? All of those type of psychological games that go on, man, they are relevant in the sport of boxing. They're relevant in sports all around. You can see a great athlete going against another great athlete, but if one guy gets shook, is a little bit nervous, thinks too much of the other guy, is intimidated by the other guy, it can most definitely affect your performance. And it appears to me as if that's the game that Terence Crawford is trying to play for the second time with Errol Spence Jr.'s team. I don't know if it is, I'm not saying that it's completely manufactured, but this time when he goes to Derrick James, and it's almost the exact carbon copy of what happened when Terence Crawford got in the face of Errol Spence Jr. when they first started talking about having a fight. The infamous red hoodie, I'm gonna take the easy side, I'll bet you $1 million in the fight. That particular interaction that took place in Texas, this seems to be another miniature thing where the same thing went on, right? Now, in this particular instance, and by now I would have already shown you at least the audio and some still footages of what went on. Derrick James is walking by Terence Crawford, and Terence Crawford says to Derrick James, "What's up?" And then Derrick James keeps walking by him and says, "Yeah, what's up?" And then Terence Crawford follows Derrick James, right? Turns towards Derrick James and follows after him and say, "Yeah, man, I said, what's up?" And Derrick James said, "Yeah, man, I said, what's up?" Right? Now, how did the tone, if you listen closely to the tone of it, when the conversation begins, it clearly was aggressive. Now, if anybody out there are not familiar with that phrase, what's up? What's up means, do you want to fight? Depending on how you say it, right? So if you say, "Hey man, what's up?" That is, the tone in your voice is like, "Hey, how have you been?" When somebody says, "Man, what's up?" That is, do you have a problem? What you want to do, right? So Terence Crawford in the beginning took the tone of, "What's up?" Like, what's up? It's what you wanna do. That's what it sounded like. And then Terrence, just as a closer he got and the longer one, he's like, man, I just said, what's up? I said, what's up? And Derrick James like, I'm telling you, what's up? So if you never been in that circumstances where people use that phrase, that may sound like you're saying the same thing over and over. You're not. The intonations are there. It went from aggressive, and then Errol's just saying, I'm just saying what's up. But now you saying what's up, so what's up? And the funny thing is, if you can hear it, you can hear it. The language, that is in a whole conversation. What's up? Yeah, man, what's up? Man, I just said what's up. So what's up? So anyway, you have all of that going back and forth, so many messages being delivered with just off the tone of the voice. And it reminded me very, very heavily of what happened when Terence Crawford tried to jump in the face of Errol Spence Jr. and said to Errol Spence Jr., hey, talk to me. And Errol ignored him and was looking at Terence Crawford's partner or friend in the back, said, man, tell your N-word be quiet then. Tell your N-word be quiet then. And then Terence Crawford waved for the dude to be quiet, or at the very least, the dude started quiet. And then Errol went straight to look at Terence Crawford. So what do you see? What I saw in that was Terence Crawford stepping to Errol Spence Jr. in a very aggressive way. Errol not moving, not giving into it at all, not even acknowledging it. And over time, Terence Crawford's aggression subsiding. Same thing took place with Derrick James, where Derrick James walking by him. Terence Crawford says, as he walks close by him, what's up? And then Derrick James, it keeps walking by him. And, just say, what's up? Keeps on walking by him. Then Terence Crawford tries to follow him. And then people get in between. And then at a certain point in time, Derrick James turns around and looks him in his face and says the same thing again. But now Terence Crawford has the tone as if all he said was, hey man, what's up? How you doing? And meant it in that fashion. And somehow Derrick James is taking it wrong. Nah, man, Derrick James did not take that wrong. That was clearly in that tone. So what does that mean for the fight? If Terence Crawford is looking to intimidate Errol Spence Jr. in his camp, and that is one of the mechanisms that he is used to having, because I've seen him do it before. I've seen him do it with, the biggest example of it is Jose Benavidez, and he did that with Jose Benavidez on multiple occasions, right? Whenever somebody says something to him, he then gets aggressive with them, and he uses that as motivation, right? A motivation for the fight. It also could be used to intimidate the guy who doesn't really think that he's got a good chance to win, because now he's against a guy that he thinks he's probably going to lose to anyway, is now in his chest getting real aggressive. He's knocked out other people. Man, what is this guy going to do to me? Well, if that's what he was going after for Errol Spence in Dallas, did not happen. And Errol Spence Jr., even in the conversations you could see with these guys who are on stage, Errol Spence Jr. did not come off intimidated at all. Also, even with the stare down, because Terence Crawford also did that stare down thing with Errol, where you see who's going to turn first, where Terence Crawford was staring at Errol, and Errol broke contact and just turned to the side, right? So right there, does that tell you, okay, man, you were nervous, you broke eye contact first? If you look at Errol Spence also did that. He did that same thing, I do believe, to Yordenis Ugas, where he just turned like, okay, I've looked at you long enough. I'm just going to turn and going about my business, as if none of that particular stuff is going to really matter to him. He's somebody that talks about not being too high, not being too low. If he doesn't get excited when you try to intimidate him, he doesn't get down when it looks like you're having good moments. That is somebody that is mentally strong and, could really be and is not going to give you something, right? And that's the thing with intimidation. Intimidation is meant to give you that little bit of edge, right? Like, man, this guy may be a little bit more hesitant. This guy, that's why Tyson Fury does a lot of that stuff, a lot of the really aggressive talk and all of that, to try to scare the guy and get into his mind like, man, what is this crazy man that I'm up here against, and try to get you, out of your game. But if somebody relies on that, and I'm not saying Terence Crawford strictly relies on that, but if Terence Crawford is used to that and feels like he can pull that out of his hat when he needs to pull that out of his hat, and it ain't there, hey man, it could be a case where Terence Crawford is now looking in the face of somebody that refuses to be bullied. Like, man, okay, I can't bully this dude. You know, what's plan B? Do I need to be a little bit hesitant of what's going on? Because there's a lot of dudes through boxing that have relied on bullying people and intimidating people. And then when they get in there with somebody that's not bullied and not to be intimidated, things change. Kind of like a good example of that could very well be Evander Holyfield and Mike Tyson, where people are usually really scared of Mike Tyson. And a lot of those guys against Mike Tyson are beat before they get in the ring. But Evander Holyfield wasn't intimidated at all, had never been intimidated up with him, and actually went on about beating and intimidating and thumping up Mike Tyson. Anyway, so I'm sure the Terence Crawford supporters are not going to like my take on that. At the end of the day, I'm going to tell you again that is not determinative for me of what's taking place in a fight. Just an interesting observation in the dynamics of the fighters coming up. And that's one of the things coming up to the fight. And that's one of the things that make boxing really interesting. So that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.